There were no big dragons in Japan, and there hadn't been for a very long time. To most kids Kohei's age, full-size Ryu felt about as real as the cowboys in American films. Maybe they had been a part of history once, but now they were the stuff of legend. Nobody expected to run into John Wayne on their way to the market, and no one had encountered a big Ryu since bombs fell over Hiroshima and Nagasaki almost 20 years ago. Kohei was 10 years old. He shouldn't have been able to remember the big Ryu at all. He shouldn't have known how enormous they were, or how their tails could crush entire apartment buildings with a single careless swipe, or how their bodies coiled as they lumbered through the cracked streets, slow and majestic, thick tufts of fur glimmering in the wind. He definitely shouldn't have remembered the sound of their talons crunching against asphalt. But as most kids know, should has very little to do with memories. Kohei remembered the Ryu parade. It couldn't have been a dream. It was so real, so much like a memory. It had to have happened in real life. The streets were well-weathered and worn, and the skies were clear and bright, and when Kohei tilted his head back, he spotted a western dragon circling high in the clouds. It had such huge, pointy wings. Western dragons looked more like birds or bats than the serpent-like Japanese Ryu that Kohei was accustomed to. He had never seen a real Western dragon before, and he thought this one was unspeakably beautiful, in a brutal sort of way. Kohei wanted to be beautiful and brutal, and he so wanted to fly. Japanese dragons, Ryu, could technically travel through the air, but only when it was raining. They were creatures of water and mist. The ancient Ryu that lived thousands of years ago had harnessed the clouds in order to fly, shaping the air with their talons. Unless it was raining really hard, the tiny Ryu that lived in Japan now could barely even hover. In Kohei's impossible memory, the crowds of people jostling around him barely seemed to notice the circling Western dragon. They were too busy staring at the parade of Ryu marching down the street. Kohei didn't mind the jostling, for the most part, and he didn't bother looking at the people's faces. Except one. His grandfather's.